Hi everyone, welcome to the Arbiters-Stream Episode 14.
Hello, Prodromos Gerodopoulos here from Thessaloniki, Greece, social worker, international arbiter, and also a good friend and colleague, the arbiter Mark Brian from Cyprus. Here you can introduce Mark what is going about to analyze in this 14th episode.
Yes, we're going to our topic today is recent and upcoming changes to the Fide laws of chess. There have been several changes from January 2022. We also have changes from July 22 and some very serious changes coming up October 1st, 2022, if I'm not mistaken. 1 second and we will be starting.
Yes, of course.
So let's look at our intro video.
Of course.
So, welcome to the Arbiters Stream, episode 14. As we said, it's recent and upcoming changes to the laws of chess. So, we are going to see what has changed. So, the most important changes are the FIDE rating regulations. They were changed on the 1st of January of 2022. There are further changes coming on the 1st of October, which we will discuss later on in the stream. We have the FIDE title regulations, some major changes into the titles, how you obtain direct title. And I think also title norms have been changed. Some norm regulations have changed. Then we have even new regulations for arbiters. I think these regulations actually changed in 2021, but they were rewritten and much better explained in the arbiters manual, which we're going to look at. And then some very new regulations that came in July 1st, 2022 for the captains and head of delegations, which actually affected the Chess Olympiad, was the first event where these regulations came into force. So let's dive into the rating regulations. We're going to go to the FIDE handbook, where we can actually see what changes have actually taken place. So here we can see that some changes I've left out, like the non-elected commissions that are effective from 1 August, because this does not relate to the laws. This is mainly administrative. There's some change in the FIDE code of ethics. This, if I am not mistaken, is mainly about how complaints and disciplinary actions should be taken and what are the procedures for complaints. The anti-cheating regulations have not changed since. As you can see here, it's FIDE title regulations effective from January 1st. FIDE rating regulations effective from 1 January. And here will come a new one, which will say FIDE rapid and Blitz rating, which will say effective from 1 October. But we're going to see the 1 January 2022 changes, which will again change in October due to a decision taken at the Chennai Chess Olympiad. And here it does not. Here, as I said, the titles of arbiters and the regulations were effective from 1 July 2021, but they were added into the arbiters manual in 22. And something else that was major change is the captains and heads of delegation. This was not here previously, and this has changed quite a bit. So let's start with the here was if you follow the news in Fide.com, you can see here where it said on 14th February where the Arbiters Manual 22 has been released. And here they've added chapter 10 is with all new regulations as well as classification and selection of arbiters in world events, as FIDE has come up with some new ways of selection. And then 6 and 7 have been changed recently with the reflection. The reason we will be using the Arbiters Manual and not the handbook is because the Arbiters Manual give us a lot of notes and suggestions, including to the laws of chess. So it is very helpful. Oh, sorry, I did not switch the transition actually. Okay, let's go to the laws of chess, to the Arbiters Manual. And I think we will start with chapter 6, yes? Which is the rating regulations. So as we can see here, the Arbiters Manual. Here it tells you once when it has been edited, so 6th of February, and what has been updated. Okay, so the rating regulations is actually chapter 10 in this book. Sorry, chapter 6. FIDE rating regulations. We're going to go not all of the pages, but so, and we come here to the rating regulations which are applicable from 1 January 2022.
January, yes.
Yes. So the changes mainly here is when the tournament is can be newly registered, and this is here the playing tournament and playing schedule must be registered 3 days before the tournament starts. This does not mean you tell your ratings officer 3 days in advance. Okay, this is for the ratings officer to send it into FIDE within 3 days in advance. So let's say I have a tournament tomorrow. I need to send it in by Monday. Okay, very important. Even if it's less than 3 days, the chairman might allow it, but there might be a penalty involved in late registration. Okay, and now the rate of play. This is one of the major changes, the rate of play. Now it comes to the game that we always calculate the rate of play according to how much time is completed in 60 moves. They have increased the minimum rating for 120 minutes by 200 points. It is now at 2400 or higher.
Yes. This goes with the previous regulations, goes 2200.
Yes.
Yes, that's right.
This is actually good for Cyprus because our top rated player is now 2300, so we can play with this time control. They have increased the rating for 90 minutes.
Yes.
From 1600. This used to be
1600. It was, yes.
Now it's increased to 1800.
That's right.
And now under minimum of 60 minutes is for anybody if both players are rated below 1800. So if you play in a tournament which is 60 minutes per player and you're 2400, none of your games are rated. All games for you are unrated, but the rest of the tournament is rated. Another thing that has changed is the first time control. It used to be 40 moves. Now they tell you it should be at least 30 moves.
Yes.
So I can now create time controls where I say in the first 30 moves, this is your time control. Before it used to be at least 40. but they have reduced it now to at least 30 moves. I think this was requested by many organizers and arbiters. We have now got new hybrid chess competition laws, which had to be added to the laws to be followed. So if it's a hybrid tournament, you need to follow the hybrid regulations, which can be rated now. Previously, it was not allowed to be rated. Now they can be. This is something else that has changed. The reporting frequency, which is something that many organizers seem to forget. Okay, here I have experience as a ratings officer, that's why I say so. Tournaments lasting more than 30 days must be reported on a monthly basis. Ratings need to change every month. So I have a tournament starting 16 September and it finishes 30 of November. All games played in September must be sent before the deadline for September. For the 1st October rating, all games played in October need to be sent for the 1st November rating list, and all games in November sent for the December rating list. Not all games together.
Yes.
Okay. Unplayed games are, as always, unrated, and games will be only rated if both players make one move. The matches has not changed. Okay, so this is when the FIDE official FIDE rating list works. This has not changed. The minimum rating is 1000. The rating list now appears on the last day of the previous month, but it does not have effect until the 1st of February. So a tournament starting on 31 January may not use the February rating list. You have to use the January rating list. It changed, but you have to use the January rating list. Something that's very important. Closing date for tournaments is 3 days before the date of the list. So 1 February, 28th of January. I stick with 28 because by 31 it could be 29, but it's a bit, sorry, 27. 27 of the month. Except for February where it's 25. Okay. 5 games is the same against rated opponents to get a rating. The only thing that has changed is that it can be not more than 26 months. I think this used to be 12 months. I think this was 12 months.
Yes.
Yes, they increased it to 26 months due to COVID. I am the opinion.
Yes. That's right. Yes. It's increased the period of time. Yes, that's right.
Players are active, inactive who have not played for 1 year. This was increased, but then it was decreased again due to tournaments taking place again.
Yes.
This has not changed. How they calculate the ratings has not changed. This is a big change that occurred due to a lot of players getting a lot of rating very, very fast, and also because strong players playing in weak tournaments gaining rating after the other. There is no more difference of more than 400 points will be counted as 400. This will be only used once.
Yes.
And it will be where the rating difference is greatest. Which means if you are rated more than 735 points than your opponent, your expected score is 1 point. It used to be that this was a maximum expected score, 0.92, so you could win rating against weaker players. This is no longer the case. Only once it will be used. Okay? Then something else has changed. It's the K factor. The K
Yes.
factor may not exceed 700. So the number of games on any list for a rating period multiplied by k does not exceed 700. So let's say I have k40. I cannot, if I play 20 games, my 20 games cannot be k40.
Yes.
It will become k37, I think, or 34, somewhere there. Sorry, k35. K35 times 20 is 700. So all 35 games will be treated as all 20 games will be treated as k35. Here, this is something that has changed. If tournaments are not sent in, they are punished. Tournament must be submitted within 5 days from the last day of the tournament to the end of the month. Okay. Okay, and the inclusion in the rating list, this is clear that players have to have FIDE IDs. So these are the changes that occurred in the rating regulations. For Rapid and Blitz, I think maybe the only change that took place is the time control. That it
Yes.
was reduced from 15 to 10 minutes.
Yes.
And Blitz is now, instead of 5, it's now 3 minutes. 3 to 10. Before it was 5 to 15.
But the same is for Blitz, 10 minutes for each player. Yes, for all the
Yeah.
game. This is
And this is
the same.
again for 60 moves, so you need to 60 moves. It needs to be very, that's how you have to calculate it. Always for 60
Also,
moves.
the time increases when you press the clock.
Yeah.
This is calculate this one.
The maximum number of rounds has stayed the same, 15 games per day, 30 Blitz games per day. Not much changes here. The changes to the Rapid and Blitz I will explain later, because this is major changes coming on the 1st of October.
Yes.
The FIDE rating, this has not changed, and it's all the same. So let's go to our second topic, which is going to be the title regulations.
Yes, of course.
Chapter 7, which Marcus, who will be here, will be explaining, diving into the chapter 7.
Yes, this applied from 1st January 2022. There are some changes here. The regulation can be altered by FIDE Council following recommendation of qualification committee. Also about the titles for players are administered by, as I said, qualification commission, which is the final judging unit. The titles are remain the same: Grandmaster, International Master, FIDE Master, Candidate Master, Woman Grandmaster, Woman International Master, Woman FIDE Master, Woman Candidate Master. Here, as we say, the use of title rating, the ethical principles of the title rating system may subject a person to revocation of his title upon recommendation by qualification and ethics commission. And finally, here about 0.5, I think there are some changes. Title performance is a result, gives a performance rating as defined in 1.46 to 1.49 against the minimum average of the opponent for the letter. Now the Grandmaster performance is 2,600, not 2,500. That's increased, which average rating of 2,380. Also,
So, which means here I cannot play with average rating of players 2200 and score 2600 performance.
yes,
Okay.
the average, the performance is 2,000. It's 100 points of or rating yellow is increased.
Yeah.
Also for international master is 2,450 performance against opponent with average rating of 2,230. Now, not 200,000. There is increase of
So the increase is average opponent's rating, yes?
Yes,
This
of
has
course.
changed.
And the performance also.
And
For
the performance.
woman grandmaster performances, 2040 performance against opponent with average of 180. With the previous was less than this. The numbers are increased. For a woman international master, the performance is 2,250. 50 points increased. Performing against opponents with average rating 2,030.
This is to protect the title, yes? This increase.
Yes, this is in order to protect, in order to, for some players who are not played for some years, to be active again.
Okay.
Yes, also with the title norm is a title performance fulfilling additional requirements concerning the mix of title players and nationalities, as specified in the articles 1.42 to 1.45.
Yeah. I think this is also new. The
Yes.
minimum rating.
Yes. Also 0.6.2, you can see the numbers about we award immediately. An applicant has to have achieved at time a minimum rating as follows. If an applicant is rated lower, the title is awarded conditionally and will be awarded finally on request by the respective federation as soon as the minimum rating is achieved. Which means that if a chess player didn't achieve these ratings, has to talk with the federation about to achieve with other tournaments. Any player with conditional title may take a lower title when they reach the required rating for the lower title. Also,
so
yes,
if
this is the same. No more than 2 rounds shall be played on any one day.
So I have a question here with
Yes.
so if I get a direct GM title by winning some tournament where the GM title is given, and I do not have a minimum rating of, I've never reached 2300, I
Yes.
cannot be GM until I reach 2300.
Yes, until you have to reach the Elo rating. Yes.
Okay, so like let's say in a zonal tournaments where you can become IM or GM, you need to have at least achieved these ratings to get the title that is given. Okay.
Not only the performance, but you have to upload your rating. Yes. This is the compare and contrast, the differences between the rating performance and the Elo rating.
Yeah.
Yes, no more than 2 rounds. At least 2 hours in which to complete.
At least 30 days in advance as well.
Yes.
So norm tournaments must be 30 days in advance. It's very important.
No more than 12 hours play in one day. Yes, that's right. With this means that the article 1.1.2, you can play with the lower ratings until 2040, 3 games per day. If the yellow ratings and the time controls lower.
Yeah.
This is no more than 12 hours for a game for a GM norm, for a title norm. If it's a youth tournament, let's say, with 16 minutes per move with an increment of 30 seconds from the first move and for all the game, you can play 3 games per day, like some tournaments in India.
Yes.
But if it's 90 minutes and plus 30 seconds per move, then you have it's allowed to play only 2 rounds per day.
Yeah. Here we
you
have
the right to play 3
games.
rounds per day if the time controls were lower than 90 minutes.
Yeah. Then we have also that title tournaments always are international arbiter or FIDE arbiter.
Yes, of course.
And they must always be in the playing venue. We cannot have a playing venue with a national arbiter inside, and then they may not play in a title tournament. And then
That's
it comes
right,
here
yes.
that it tells you that an arbiter should not play in a federated tournament.
That's right. Also, the article 1.1.4, in tournament which last longer than 30 days, the opponent's rating entitlements used shall be those applied when the games were played. Yes.
Okay.
You don't change the yellow rating if a tournament started at the end of a month, let's say at 28th of September, and it lasts at the 5th of October, then from the 1st of October to change the yellow. No, it is not allowed. This is also you have to go to uh, 1.3 about the ratings. This is from the previous 1st July 2017. This is previous regulations. But as we talk about the new changes, 1.4.3 federations and opponents. The last two federations other than that of the title application must be included, except for Article 1.4.3, 1.4.3d shall be exempt. As we said, the final stage of a national men's or open championship and also national women's championship. In the year where zonal or sub-zonal tournament of a single federation is held, then national championship is not except for that federation. Yes, also the D are two Swiss system tournaments in which participants include in every round at least 20 federated players. Yes,
Not from the host federation.
Yes, and at least 3 different federations.
This is not difficult anymore.
Yes, but at least 10 of whom hold the titles, GM titles, National Master. This is the new here.
This one, at least 10 of whom hold the titles?
Yes, in the previous years was 4 different federations.
If
you want a tournament that be international tournament. For this purpose, players will be counted only if they miss at most one round. Yes. As you see, for the waiter to apply, these conditions must be met in every round.
Yeah.
If in one round only 19th rated players, not from the host federation, actually play, this exemption will not apply, regardless of how many such players are registered for the event.
Okay.
For any requirement, yes.
This is all the same, I think so, yeah? This has stayed all the same.
And also, 3 out of 5 of the opponents may come from the applicant federation, and the maximum 2 out of 3 of the opponents from the federation. Yes, this is some changes. Titles of opponents. At least 50% of the opponents shall be title holders, excluding candidate, men and women. Yes.
This is all the same.
Yes, that's right. B, for a Grand Metro North,
this is changed.
1 out of 3 with a minimum of 3 of the opponents must be Grand Metros. Yes. C, For international meta norm, at least 1 out of 3 with a minimum 3 of the opponents must be international meta or grand meta. Yes, this is the basic changes. D, for a human grand meta norm, at least 1 out of 3 with a minimum 3 of the opponents must be woman grand meta, national meta or grand meta. E, for a woman international meta norm, at least 1 out of 3 with a minimum 3 of the opponents must be woman international meta, woman grand meta, international meta or grand meta. F, double round robin tournaments need a minimum of 6 players. An opponent's title, as in Article 1.4.5b and E, shall be counted only once. Yes.
Yeah. And then we have this change here.
Yes, this is the rating of opponents. Yes, that's right.
Here the title application from the 30th of June, which has changed.
Yes.
1.5.6. Any title application containing a norm.
Yes, that's right.
Must include at least one norm from an individual Swiss tournament, with every round containing at least 40 participants whose average rating is at least 2000. For this
Yes,
purpose, players will be counted only if they miss at most one round.
that's
Okay.
right. And
This we're
1.6
talking
summary of
about
yes.
tournament norm applications that are after 1 July 2022.
Yes.
Okay, these have not changed.
Yes, no more than 2 was the same. Yes.
I was of the opinion that the norms must be submitted with PGN or not anymore, or not.
This is not mandatory, I think.
This is not mandatory.
Yes.
I was of the opinion that it was. No, it's not.
That's right. Yes.
Okay, so we're going to. That
Yes,
was a title regulation.
1.9.1. This is, as you said, it's 1.9. Submission report on title tournament. Such tournament must be registered as in rating regulation 0.2, 1.9.1.
Here, reports must include
Yes,
a
include
PGN.
the PGN file containing. Yes,
Okay.
but you have the other right for Swiss and team tournaments, at least those games played by players who achieved title results.
Okay.
For other tournaments, all games.
So this is very
also
important.
The score sheets.
You
Yes.
need to submit a PGN for all. This is a big change. You need to submit PGN PGN file of all games if it's a title application.
With the previous was not mandatory.
No, but it's not mandatory. But it was now it's mandatory.
Now it's mandatory, and the case is that they go to for a cheating control to put the games Stockfish to Houdini to the engines.
Screening tool, yeah, the Fide screening tool.
Yes, in order to recognize if it's there any cheating or not. Yes, this is the reason.
Okay, we're going now to chapter 10, where we're going to see the
yes, of course,
the new regulations on arbiters. 1 minute. So, these are the new the regulations. They have Fide Arbiter, International Arbiter.
yes.
Arbiter norms. This is very important. Arbiter norms must include 4 norms.
Yes.
And
yes,
now
4 norms.
Including what is it called? Seminar, and from the 1st of July 2022, this was postponed to 2023 or 2024.
Yes, from 1st January of 2023, you have to submit a seminar. Yes.
Yes, one from a seminar as well.
Yes.
And this shall include 5 norms.
Yes, 5 norms. Yes, it will be postponed. Yes.
Now, types of events acceptable for norms are Swiss, round robin, double round robin, team, knockout.
Also in hybrid events. This is
as
the
well
new
hybrid
changes.
events. Yes, only if in hybrid events, only where the arbiter is actually an arbiter at the venue.
Yes.
Because I remember being arbiter at a hybrid venue, but because I was online, it was
No,
not
just
count.
not online arbiter.
No,
I
it
have
was a
been,
hybrid event, but I was an online
yes.
arbiter.
I'll be last year in a hybrid event. I was sector arbiter, but not online. I was into the venue.
No, you were local chief arbiter.
Yes, local chief. You are from Serbia. You have been yes deputy, I think.
Yes, and I was not. It was not.
With Vera, with the youth individual tournament.
Yes, it was not. It did not count as a norm because nobody could check if I did my work.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I remember.
Even
Yes.
though I had more responsibilities than a local chief arbiter.
Yes. Also, two different system of events will be included as norm in
Yes, you cannot use
applications,
same events. Yes.
and both for FIDE arbiter and the national arbiter.
At least 30% must be federated, at least
Yes.
7 games, at least 100 players.
Two different type of tournaments, yes, of
At
course.
least 2 type. You need to have one Swiss system that is internationally rated.
Yes.
Then you can use a world or continental international events.
Yes.
National may only be for FIDE arbiter, but not for international arbiter norms.
Yes.
Then there's also limits on how many certificates per event.
Yes.
2 certificates for round robin, 1 certificate per 25 players in a Swiss event. Right. They must be signed by the chief arbiter and the federation responsible. So in Cyprus, it will be signed by the chief arbiter and myself.
Yes.
And again, only people with these titles may sign this norm. And if the chief arbiter is not an FA, he can only get the norm.
Yes. Also, this is for FIDE arbiter requirements. If it's have from IBCA norm from.
Yes. FA must be 18 years old.
Yes, of course.
It used to be 21.
Yes,
I remember because
title,
I could not become FIDE arbiter until I turned 21. I got my norm like 3 years before.
Yes.
And I had to wait. I had a conditional arbiter title. Okay, you should at least speak one of the following languages.
Yes.
English is a requirement. It's not something that you cannot use. This is they ask the federation sometimes on this, and then it's an 80% examination pass rate.
Yes, that's right.
A very high pass rate, but considering the importance of an arbiter, I think it's appropriate. And then you need to have an arbiter norm in three different types of events. Okay.
Yes.
The national team championship can be 5-round norm.
5 rounds, yes. That's
this was reduced from 7. Rapido Blitz.
Yes, 3.9.2. This is the main change. Yes.
Rapido Blitz means the minimum of 30 players.
30
this was
players.
Added. Yes, this was added.
Yes. And 9 rounds. Yes.
This is what we said. Hybrid chess events of the level of an over-the-board FA norm. Match arbiter and Olympiad. The norms must include events according to 3.8 and 3.9 with at least 7 rounds. Only one event with 5 or 6 rounds may be accepted.
Yes, that's right.
And then one national level event. Okay, international
also
arbiter.
Requirements for international arbiter here.
You must, international arbiter is obligatory knowledge of English.
Yes.
I think previously it was any official FIDE language. And 1st of July they are requiring a
and this
seminar.
Is postponed, as we said, yes.
The final of national individual.
Yes.
Any international events that are from the FIDE handbook, and then one World Continental Rapid and Blitz.
Yes.
And then we have the national team championship, 7 rounds for an IA. A hybrid chess event can be an IA norm if it's endorsed by the Arbiters Commission. Match Arbiter. Only one event will count for 7 or 8 rounds.
Yes.
We have to have an FIDE Arbiter title before getting IA. They need to be different from the FA norm, and they cannot be from the same chief arbiter. Here you need different chief arbiters.
Also, do you want to see the classification from
Yes,
the national arbiters? From
national arbiter needs to be at least 16 years of age.
Yes.
This is something. Tournament norm shall not be more than 6 years old. Seminar norm
Yes.
should not be 4 years old. The application shall be submitted not later than 1 year after the date of the latest event, which means I need to send my arbiter application in the next 1 month. Otherwise, I will not be IA.
Yes, that's right.
Let me see. Let's see. I think my last IA norm is September 2021. So I should submit it. Otherwise, I have to do a seminar.
Yes.
My norms are 2 Cyprus closed championship here, maximum 2 norms. 1 Olympiad. I think this is as many, or is this has been changed? I think it used to be only 1 match arbiter. Yes.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
If it's not more than 1, I have 2 from here and 1 World
Also,
European Youth.
4.9.5.
Maximum once. So it's only once. It says it here. So I can only use this once. So I have 1 match arbiter, 2 Cyprus closed, and then 1 European Youth, 4 norms, which I need to submit in the next few days.
Yes, of course.
It's difficult. Okay, then it says here the national federation is responsible for the fee, but this is depending on your federation. Yes, the federation will tell you. 60 days will be published on the FIDE website for 60 days because there can be objections lodged. All arbiters of any FIDE shall comply with the FIDE financial regulations. You have to pay the license fee.
Yes.
Yes, and here is a new training system.
If you want to be FIDE lecturer, you have to be national arbiter B.
Yes, you have to be IA A or B. The list of
yes, that's right. Yes.
This I will leave it because it's not.
And
really
also the norms for FIDE lecturer, it has deadline for 2 years and not 4 years.
Yes, this is a new thing that arbiters are changing. So you become an arbiter and then you have to follow refresher courses. I think you have to follow every 2-3 years a course. Anyway, this is I suggested. I mean, if you can go to a seminar, it's good to do a refresher course. And anyway, they have done. This is a new thing that has been done, which is very nice. It's a preparation for your certain event. If it's like the Olympiad, you had online preparation. So you have an arbiter seminar or FIDE arbiter or international arbiter seminar. You need to be registered as a national arbiter before registering as a FIDE arbiter seminar. You cannot register otherwise. You need to know the laws of chess, how to use a clock, how to do pairings, tie breaks, anti-cheating, the regulations for the titles of arbiters, how to use equipment, rating regulations.
Yes.
Okay. Then the seminar, the duration needs to be at least 16 hours over 2 days. Okay. At the end of the seminar, you have to pass with 80%. And then we have a new arbiter training for the international arbiters. The reason of this is for them to get more experienced.
Yes.
Okay, it's very important for this. And here they do some new ones. For example, all the regulations, and then to use pairing software, running a chess event, and how to communicate in English during a chess event. This is very important because as I have experience where I was a player and you had arbiters who do not speak English, and it's very hard to communicate.
Yes.
I understand as a FIDE arbiter not to speak English because you are an arbiter in your country, but at worldwide events, I think it's important to speak FIDE languages. And again, it's 16 hours, 2 days. You have to pass an exam. It doesn't say here how much percent. So I would say you just have to pass, yes?
Yes.
You don't need to. And then here, refresher courses is every 4 years. It will be a mandatory to attend a refresher course at least once every 4 years. Okay? Otherwise, you will be moved to inactive. This means I need to do another seminar. I haven't done a seminar since 2014. 8 years. It's not 8 years, sorry. Yes, 8 years. It's a long time. And here it tells you what they prepare for the world preparation, not really training structure. And then here National Federation should have a training program, which the Greek Chess Federation has. So if you're in Greece, you should contact the Greek Arbiters Commission. I think this is it for that. I don't think I
So if you want
will.
to see the classification,
No, classification, we have active, inactive,
yes,
and then
yes,
category A, B, C,
A,
and
B,
D.
C, or D.
Now, category A is, of course, the World Olympiad and the World Individual Championships.
Yes,
It's mainly you are the chief arbiter or deputy arbiter.
yes,
Category B tournaments is all other events. And then we have like category B is like all world events, like world
yes,
youth,
that's right.
schools. And again, this is a chief arbiter, deputy arbiter. We're not talking about match arbiters. Match arbiters can be
Yes,
category D.
yes.
And
The same
category
for,
C is continental events, youth continental events.
also, yes, you have to be chief
Higher
arbiter.
continental events are in the category B arbiter. Category D is the rest of the tournaments.
Yes, you need only one, then the other three is for international arbiter
Yeah.
tournament seminar. Yes,
So I will leave this this because this is a very good table. It explains to you. So if you're a
yes,
match arbiter, you can be a category D. You don't need to, like here, category A tournament, all FIAs and FAs. In a category B tournament, you can be an arbiter. Category C tournament, as a D category C, you can be here like all. You can be up to deputy chief arbiter as a category D, and here you can be chief
yes,
arbiter. So in category A, this is where they restrict the positions for fair play, pairing, sector, deputy chief, and chief to category A and B due to experience. Because here you need to be able to take decisions without being comfortable. It's mainly about being comfortable and being able to take decisions and staying up to like experience wise. You want a very experienced arbiter at the top events, which is reasonable.
yes.
The lower the category, the lower the level of arbiters, which is very clear shown on this title here, this table. Here then they have the appointments. They divided it into by every 2 years. There's a call of interest. They then divide the arbiters into yellow, red, blue, green. Category D is only yellow, I believe, or the green panel. Yellow panel, yes. Green panel are
Yes.
A tournaments, yes. So they will use the green panel to decide chief arbiters for all A and chief arbiters in B. Blue panel, chief arbiter for B, deputy chief arbiter
Yes.
for A. Red panel again, pairings officer, sector arbiter for A, deputy chief for category B, chief arbiter for C category tournaments. And then you have the yellow panel for the rest of the arbiters.
That's right. Yes.
You can only be a maximum of 2 official events per year.
Per year, yes.
And 2 deputy arbiter per year. And 3 times arbiter. Okay? You can be removed if you've been sanctioned because of this. And so on. Yeah. We have also that at least 25% need to be of one gender. You cannot have 90% male or 90% female. It has to be 70, at least 25%. And then you have at least 50% of the arbiters must come from the appointments from the ARB, yes? Okay. This is what covers the arbiter regulations.
Yes, for online.
I will move to the last topic for today.
Yes.
Which is the newest FIDE Rapid and Blitz regulations. Which is the one that is very important. So, as we know, the Rapid and Blitz has been in effect from, I think, 7 years, from 2013.
7 years.
Sorry, 9 years now. Many players, one of the major problems in the rating list is that players might not be playing Rapid and Blitz, and the Rapid and Blitz rating stay in the under 2000 rating, but their standard is in the GM branch. We have this with some of the Cyprus players. Like Andreas Liris is 2500 feet rating. Rapid and
Yes.
Blitz is maybe 21, 22. And this is not only Kelis, this is many players. I think Pragnanda was another player who was 1700 feet rated for Rapid or Blitz. And he's a GM. So, as on 1st of October 2022, any player who's unrated Rapid or Blitz will remain unrated. Their rating will not be their standard rating. If the standard rating is more than 100 points higher than the other ratings, their Blitz and Rapid will be moved to 100 points below their Rapid or Blitz ratings. If the rating is less than 100 difference, then it will be left the same. Or if it's higher, it will be also left the same. Also, they will change the K factor. It used to be K20 in all cases, which I think was a lot considering top players. For very high rated players, I think it was a bit much. So it has been changed to K40 for new players until they have reached 30 games, K20 until you reach 2400. Once you reach 2400, it's K10, and K40 for all players under 18, as long as their rating remains under 2300. So basically, all this is the same as a standard rating list, rather than the standard K20 for all cases. This has been I am very positive to this change. Despite the above, this with the 100 points being very what is it called, arbitrary, I think this is necessary because you have too many players underrated. So I think this is a good decision, something that FIDE decided was good, and it's also time to introduce these rules. I think it was a matter of time that FIDE was going to introduce this, so it's very good that they have introduced
Yes.
it. And these are all the changes. I
We
think we
covered a
covered.
huge part of the new regulations.
I think we've covered everything.
Yes.
Any questions?
Yes. Is there any question from the audience in order to analyze it,
No.
to interpret?
The only comment is that the stream was unstable. Nah. Embirazi. Next time I have to find to check the stream better. Okay
Yes.
then. Thank you everyone for watching. We have a
Thanks for
surprise for
watching.
you coming up to you
Yes.
viewers.
We are going to announce that and create
Yes,
an
I
event
will.
on social
Yes,
media.
stay tuned to our upcoming
Yes.
surprise.
Yes. This will be a very good surprise for you and for know the knowledge about the arbiters rules and regulations
Yes.
and a long journey of an arbiter. Okay,
Okay then.
stay tuned.
Thank you very much, everybody.
Thanks for watching and for the support.
Yes, the support is amazing.
Thank you. Stay tuned until the next episode.
Yes, see you next time.
Thank you. I stop.